Hello, good friends. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all woke up very soundly. I want to touch on a subject of very deep importance. The 2023 elections have come and gone. We are waiting for what the judiciary will say. I will take the liberty to say that even children, even infants, would know that what passed for elections were not elections. What passed for elections was a sham. Some people sat down and took a decision to appoint a leader, to appoint a president for the Nigerian people. They have taken that decision. It's an action. We will see how it will play out. Very important personalities have spoken, have added their voices. I will talk about just two of the personalities that have commented on the charade called elections in Nigeria. One was Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. He said so many things. One of the things he said provoked outrage. He attacked the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, the most popular ticket. He alleged that a statement that the guy that he made was fascistic. You all know what fascism means. Fascism was Benito Mussolini's political and social ideology, which Nazism, Hitler's ideology, is believed, not really believed, but known to be a development of. Nazism developed from fascism. At a point, Hitler admired Mussolini. Everybody that was a person of goodwill was annoyed with Soyinka. People like myself felt that he was ending badly because Soyinka witnessed a lot of horrible things that happened in Nigeria. He knew that the Igbo people were stopped from voting in parts of the country. And he also knew, or he ought to have known, that the appointed winner did not win the election. But he focused on fascism of the statement that he made. And I believe that Nigerians of goodwill saw through what was happening. The appointed winner was his friend. So people took umbrage at what he said, and discussions about it are still ongoing. Soyinka also said something that is very important that people are overlooking. He said whoever will take over should restructure the country. I will get back to this after getting into the contribution of my kinswoman, very popular novelist, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She added her voice to the dean, told the Western world, treat Africans the way you treat others. Biafra should have been treated exactly the way Ukraine is being treated today. The United Nations should have intervened as it intervened in the case we are witnessing today. I'm extending it because what Chimamanda expressly said was that if elections are sham in Africa, the Western world should consider it a sham. They shouldn't think that Africans are children who deserve whatever they get. That was the crux of her letter. And she also took down the misplaced misrepresentation of that statement as fascistic by Wole Soyinka. I'll now get back to what Soyinka said that people are ignoring. Soyinka called for restructuring. And I'm using the Igbo people, I'm using this chance to tell the Igbo people today, or to ask the Igbo people today, if perchance whoever takes over as president of Nigeria decides to do the needful, the proper, the ideal, to give Nigerians a chance to move forward without violence, to join the branches of humanity that are trying to make something out of this life, that are trying to stop this bleeding, this very horrible situation of Nigerians looking for visas to escape to all parts of the world, when it's the sixth largest oil producer in the world, when it is forested, when it has rainfall, when it has population. Assuming whoever takes over decides to do that, because if I become the president of Nigeria today and business continues as usual, nobody has gained anything. But if somebody comes up as president of Nigeria and decides to restructure Nigeria so that the sections of Nigeria that want to move forward would move forward, and those that want to go back to the 10th century will go back to the 10th century, what is the agenda of the Igbo? This is a question to the Igbo people. Soyinka has spoken. Adichie has also spoken. We are waiting. But life has to go on. And I'm asking my people, what is our agenda? What do we take to call it a conference where the restructuring will take place? And this brings me to the question of, when I say study authentic omenala, 99% of the people that read what I say or hear what I say don't understand what I'm saying. And most are not inclined to asking questions. The question is, what are the Igbos going to say they want from Nigeria? That is the question. If Peter Obi is the president, there should be an Igbo agenda. What Igbos want is different from what the Fulanis want. What the Fulanis want is different from what the Yorubas want. What do the Igbos want? I will use the issues of land to make my point clear now. The average Igbo person in the world today does not know that the way the Igbo people view land is not the way the Yorubas view land, is not the way the Hausas view land, is not the way the Fulanis view land. The Igbo thinks that all the peoples in the world view land the same way. And I beg to differ. We view land differently. And I will extrapolate. The Igbo people are the only people in Nigeria who lost their lands through a law called the Land Use Act. Prior to the Land Use Act, every inch of land in Igbo land belongs either to an individual, to a family, or to a town, what we call obodo. No external person held land in trust for any person in Igbo land. Prior to the Land Use Act, in Yoruba land, the kings, the Yorubas call them the Oba. In Bini, the Oba as well held land in trust for the people. After the Land Use Act, you know what happened? Lands throughout Nigeria were taken away and handed over to the governors. The Oba and the governor are still one. It's just that this one is hereditary, or this one could be hereditary, and this one could be appointed or elected. But in Yoruba land, in Benin, in territories where the Fulani ruled, that is northern Nigeria, some sections of northern Nigeria where you have the emirs, the individuals were not in charge and in control of their lands as they were in Igbo land. The average Igbo does not know this. Not just the average Igbo, but 99% of the Igbo people do not know this. And these are the kind of matters that the Igbo should bring to this national conference where the way forward for Nigeria will be discussed. The Igbo should have an agenda. It's not enough to scream, "We are obedient." It's not enough to say that Chimamanda has sat with kings and princes and princesses. She has done a good job of work. But we should also not think that everything that Soyinka said was meaningless. He talked about restructuring. And if Igbos are in Nigeria, Igbos need a restructured Nigeria. If Igbos even get an independent country, it has to be restructured. Because the culture in Igbo land presently leads to nowhere. The present culture that the Igbo people are using to run Igbo land presently is pre-medieval. And that was where the Igbos were never. Igbos learned to become primitive people recently. I'm afraid that I might have used primitive the wrong way, because primitive does not necessarily mean backward. But I mean that the present culture that Igbos are using to engage with life, even in purely Igbo settings, in advanced societies like America, the UK, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, is not progressive at all. And the Igbos did not go back to bring up this custom. Igbos learned it. These are matters that have to be discussed. If Igbos remain a part of Nigeria, they have to come up with a set of traditions that will enable them to move forward, which Nigerians have to adopt. I have a duty to respect Sharia if I'm in Sharia territories. If a Fulani comes to Igbo territory, he has to respect Omenana. But Igbos have to understand what is Omenana first. And on this note, I tell you to have a good week. Thank you.